Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning. It is results day, stage 6. I mean, I feel like technically it was all over yesterday in about 10 minutes. We were talking to the guys online. If you guys were following on YouTube, greatly appreciate it. Had the conversation going. But the coffee was wearing out, so long day. But let's get to it. Results stage 6. And we're going to see if we could get a quick word into with somebody from the bivouac. Here, let me take a quick. All right, how's everybody doing this morning? Let's get right to it. Results. All right, so you guys have seen, if you're watching or following along on YouTube, you know it. You know the course yesterday, absolutely brutal 48-hour stage where the guys stopped in bivouacs. Mini bivouacs, that's what we'll call them, the MBs of the course. 625 kilometers total raced for these guys with some shorter liaisons for them, roughly 60 miles apiece. Very interesting stage, very interesting concept. I think it worked the way it is, except for the second day, they had some issues. Something was going on because there was a release in the news there that said that ignore the standings, the general standings for now. There's some timing stuff, so enough time has passed. I think they've got it sorted, but we will see. I did see a couple of provisional flags on the results for the classes. So let's get to it. Let's find out results for the Rally GP. Adrian Van Beveren. It's been a minute getting a stage win. You know, he was on the Yamahas for the longest time, and I don't think ever really got the results that he is seeing in such a short time from Honda. So it's absolutely awesome to see him at the top of the rankings, especially on a dune stage. But then again, I believe he is more of a dune specialist. That's kind of his thing. So very well done. 7 hours and 57 minutes total, 29 seconds for him. Toby Price in the number 2 spot, 8 hours, 1 minute and 42 seconds for him, finishing 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the pace of Adrian Van Beveren. And then you've got Ricky Brabec on the Honda, Monster Energy Honda, 8 hours, 2 minutes and 31 seconds for him, finishing 5 minutes and 2 seconds back. And then you've got Daniel Sanders in the number 4 spot on the Gas Factory, 8:04.24, 6:35 back from, or 6:55 back from the number 1 spot of Adrian Van Beveren. Ross Branch in the number 5 spot, Hero Motorsports Rally Team, 8 hours, 7 minutes and 9 seconds. And then Luciano Benavides in the number 6 spot, Husqvarna Factory Racing, 8:08.08. Look at that, 8:88 for Luciano. So not bad. Picked up 12 seconds of bonus time on this stage. Kevin Benavides, brother to Luciano, in the number 7 spot, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, 8 hours, 13 minutes, 34 seconds, finishing 16 minutes off the pace of the stage winner, Adrian Van Beveren. Stefan Svitko in the number 8 spot, Slonoff Rally Team, 8 hours, 18 minutes and 48 seconds, finishing 21 minutes back. Nacho Cornejo in the number 9 spot on the Monster Energy Honda, finishing up 8 hours, 19 minutes and 18 seconds with a 21 minute, 49 second deficit to Adrian Van Beveren. And rounding out the top 10 in the Rally GP class, it is Mike Micek. What is going on this morning? See, that's what I get. I should have let the coffee process a little further. Orion Moto Racing Group finishing 9 hours and 50 seconds back, or for that stage, 1 hour, 3 minutes, 21 seconds off the pace of Adrian Van Beveren. Something interesting to see. I'm just going to, we'll call a spade. We all know, if you're riding dirt bikes, that usually body weight has something to do with the amount of available traction. I don't think I've ever seen Adrian Van Beveren in person, but I know Toby Price and I know Ricky Brabec. And I'm not saying they're horse jockeys, but I'm also not saying that they're like, super huge guys, but they do carry a bit more weight. Does that play into getting traction in the dunes and helping them lunge forward a little better? I don't know. What do you guys think? Drop the comments. You know where to find it on Spotify. Hit that Q&A. And if you're on the other platforms, send me a message. What do you think? Does it hold water? Does this kind of see? You've got Daniel Sanders, 4th, Ross Branch, 5th, Luciano Benavides, 6th, Kevin Benavides, 7. But then you've got all the, I'm going to air quote this, bigger guys up front, up top. I don't know. It's a weight thing. I mean, it's not, hell, if it's an advantage, it's an advantage. You can almost pick a hole. I've been to the local races. You can pick a hole shot by finding who the biggest guy is on the gate. And as long as the form is good, right, they're dropping the clutch at the proper time, there's a very high chance that they're going to be the first one to the corner because the bike just hooks up. They got a little bit more weight over that rear fender. So anyway, all right, that's enough of that. Let's jump over to results for Rally 2. Rally 2 results. Jean Lapin in the number 1 spot, finishing at 8 hours, 23 minutes, and 53 seconds. He is on the Deuced Rally team. And then Lucci on the BAS World KTM Racing Team bike. It is 8 hours, 39 minutes, and 23 seconds, finishing 15 minutes and 30 seconds back. And then Harith Noah on the Sherco TBS Rally Factory, finishing 8 hours, 39 minutes, and 54 seconds, 16:01 back. So very interesting to see. We do have some news, but we did see Harry working with Mason and assisting, as well as a bunch of other guys. And I believe I even saw Nasser Alatia trying to help as well on this situation. So very awesome to see everybody from the Dakar, everybody in these remote bivouacs, just trying to make it happen. So really awesome to see that. Okay. Continuing on, results 4 through 10 on the Rally 2 side of things. Bradley Cox on the BAS World KTM Racing Team, finishing 8 hours, 40 minutes, and 21 seconds. And then Jacob Argubright on the Deuced Rally Team Honda, 8 hours, 40 minutes, and 21 seconds. Look at that. An absolute tie. Dead. How do you race 626 kilometers through the dunes and literally finish with a tie with another competitor? How does that even happen? I mean, like, if this was Formula One and these guys are cranking laps within a millimeter of each other, a millimeter, like saying the tire placement is within a millimeter. I get it. I could see that. But are you kidding me? What is it? 400 plus miles that these guys ran, and they literally finish in the same amount of time. That's pretty crazy. Anyway, good job, Jacob Argubright. Very well done, sir. We do have a NAR Files coming up. I'm calling it the Jacob Argubright 2.0. So let's give it a second here. Okay, so we've got our guest queued up here in just a second. So let's run through this really quick. Here we go. So Mulek in the number 6 spot, BAS World KTM Racing Team, 8 hours, 43 minutes, and 59 seconds. Conrad Dabrowski in the number 7 spot, Deuced Rally Team, 8:45 for him. And then in the number 8 spot, Engel on the Orion Moto Racing Group, he is going to be 9 hours, 6 minutes, 18 seconds. Finishing time for him, Davisi in the number 9 spot, BAS World KTM Racing Team, finishing 9 hours, 7 minutes, and 27 seconds. And then Martini in the number 10 spot, Anketi Motorsports, 9 hours, 13 minutes, and 42 seconds. Let's jump over to the man up top, Ricky Brabec, your new 2024 Dakar Rally leader into the race rest day. Total time 27 hours, 11 minutes, and 21 seconds. And then we have Ross Branch going to be 51 seconds back. It's interesting. It's a sizable gap considering last year it was 5 seconds heading into the last stage, and we're at the halfway point. So Ross Branch on the Hero Motorsports Rally Team, he is the second leader right now, or second overall at the 2024 Dakar Rally. Adrian Van Beveren right now on that number 3 spot, 27 hours, 20 minutes, and 42 seconds. He is 9 minutes and 21 seconds back from Ricky Brabec. So a little bit of room to breathe there. But the race is obviously up front between Ricky Brabec and Ross Branch. Nacho Cornejo in the number 4 spot. He is going to be 14 minutes, 14 seconds back. Toby Price in the number 5 spot on the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing bike, 27 minutes back. So very sizable gap. It's been a minute since we've seen gaps this big, especially getting into the rest day. Kevin Benavides in the number 6 spot, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. He is 28 minutes back. Daniel Sanders in the number 7 spot, Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. He is 27, 47, and 11 seconds. 35 minutes back. Luciano Benavides, last year's winner, in the number 8 spot. He is going to be 47 minutes and 26 seconds back. Stefan Svitsko in the number 9 spot. Slonov Rally Team. He is 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 42 seconds back. And then Jean Lapin in the number 10 spot. Deuced Rally Team. He is 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 42 seconds back. That is your current leaderboard through stage 6 heading into the rest day. Now, I'm going to... you're not supposed to make assumptions, right? But I'm going to make the assumption that these guys got it figured out, and that the times we're looking at and they are reporting are the times that we should be reporting. So if they change, I will update you guys. I'm not 100% sure what happened on the timing thing yesterday, but we're going to find out here with one of the guys out there helping making it happen. Let's see if we can get him on the line. We're going to switch over our screen here. It's ringing like if he's in the U.S. Let's see if we can get him on the line. This is the will he answer.
Hey, Victor.
There he is, Mike.
Hold on, Victor.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Victor!
What is happening?
Nothing much.
Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Yeah, I was supposed to be talking to your dad and Larry and Felipe. What are you doing?
Yeah,
They're here.
we're all here.
Oh,
Hanging
here.
out.
Hey guys. Hey.
You took the express flight.
Yeah, I took a plane ride
Oh, there we go.
and a helicopter.
Nice. Okay, so I totally screwed it up then because I put their names, but I didn't know we were going to have the writer of record.
Well, it doesn't have to be about me. Actually, I prefer it's not about me.
Mason just showed up, actually.
Literally walked in.
Yeah,
Hey,
surprise guest.
Yeah, surprise guest. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're going to talk to the crew with Mason really quick. How you feeling? I mean, are you physically halfway through? Pretty tired, pretty beat up? I know it's been a long rally.
Pretty good condition. I'd say it feels like I haven't even started the race.
Damn. And you've made it pretty far already, so that's awesome. Well, let's talk to the boys. You should probably get some rest.
Yeah. They're the boss. They know what's actually going on.
All right. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
See ya. All right. Mike, what are you guys doing?
Today we are getting ready for Mason's bike to get back here. Turns out we're not going to have a lot to do with it, but we do want to do a little bit of investigative work before the bike gets packaged up. And so that's what we're doing right now. Basically just hanging out. And like I said, Mason just got here now. So, yeah. It's been quite an event working under Mason's direction on how he wants his bike to be prepared every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of work. I think me and Felipe and Larry have enjoyed it and sometimes hated it. Sometimes, we didn't get a lot of sleep for the first, we didn't get a lot of sleep till last night.
Yeah.
Literally, one night 2 nights actually, we watched Mason go to bed, and then we were still working when he woke up in the morning. So he probably thought we just got up early.
So you guys beat me. No, not really. We haven't stopped.
Yeah. But the bike, pretty much every day it went out, it was in the best shape that we could possibly get it in.
Yeah.
It's, Mason is, he's that upper level rider that is riding things to its very limit. And the bike is, proving that there's a few things and, quite a few things that need to be, I don't know what the word is, just refined,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit stronger. It's Sunir's riding the same bike, and we just understood that he hasn't really had any problems. And I think that's a direct correlation to how hard. Sunir also has a broken arm, so.
Oh, then there's that. Jeez.
So I think there's a big difference in the level of riding that's happening between these two bikes.
Yeah. And that's interesting because I was starting to wonder that. Now, I was online and we were talking. The message went back and forth that Sunir is on the same. He is on a Gen 2 bike, and I was wondering about that. And it sounds like no, he's not having all the same similar concerns, things like that. Like nothing has been parallel. We're
not in the. We're not in the same pit, so we don't know all the details. I can just say that from talking with the people from that pit and our direct connection, Jesus, it appears that they haven't had the type of problems that Mason's having.
Gotcha. Okay. So, yeah.
If you ride your bikes, easily, things don't break.
Yeah.
Typically.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, and so, and we'll see. I'll lead this one, but overall, right, from 50,000 feet and, 9 million miles away here on the Pacific Coast, and the bike looks like it has, in Mason's hands, the bike has pace. Obviously, he led stage 1. He was out in front, led the stage day. The bike has pace with everything that he's done and developed, right? The suspension and that kind of stuff. But none of the concerns, none of the things that have happened really seem like, they seem more like growing pains rather than actual like catastrophic failure because, engineering was screwed up, like completely sideways. Is that how it feels? Like these are just little details that come up, like you say, because when you ride a bike hard, it doesn't matter what bike it is?
Yeah, I think so. But I think it's also, just like you said, growing pains for Kove because, they're learning. And everybody knew this up front, so it's not a surprise to anybody. Mason knew it up front. He was good with the risk and reward, and he did his best. And I think that, they're going to definitely go back and refine. But, yeah, I would say Mason likes the motor. He's said that many times that he likes the power of the motor. And, I don't think the motor has a bad design, but there's a few little things that they're going to strengthen now. There was a little shift lever part that broke, and they're going to, make the casting a little stronger there. And I think kind of on and on and on, the wiring harness is probably going to get beefed up a lot. And so, yeah, it's just, but the bike, and I don't know, I think you could give Mason any bike, and if you give him some time with it to make it the way he wants it. You can look at the video that's going to be coming out on the Kove with Mason riding, which I've already seen a lot of it. Mm-hmm. It's amazing video. It looks like he's definitely on a bike that can compete for sure.
Yeah.
The suspension, what he's doing with the bike is, the unbelievable, crazy rider stuff that we only dream of doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Man, that,
So it looks...
Yeah, from
it looks good, even though the front fender is hand painted and the paint's all coming off underneath the front wheel. Kove probably never expected that you were going to get pictures from underneath the bike, with the bike up in the air like that. They probably figured, we don't need to worry about underneath the fender.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
But, yeah.
Well, obviously he's riding the bike. He's putting up stage times top 10. So yeah, I would fully expect these things, these little details and these little things to come out. You have to push a bike very hard to get to that point. So, but it sounds like overall, some late nights. What are the
all late nights? That's part of rally service, as you well know.
Yeah,
we all think we're gonna get things done by 9 and get to bed and get up at 3. And it's never before 1 o'clock, and it is always at 3:15. So, and one night we worked on the bike. One kind of a neat story, and I got a cold that's going around the bivouac, so trying not to give it to everybody. But one night we worked on the bike. Felipe, why don't you tell the story? Yeah, I'm going to let Felipe tell the story. He's giving me the no hand signal, but
well, we're just talking on the phone. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So we were working on the bike. I don't remember what stage it was. A couple stages ago,
Mm-hmm.
Was that did we replace the motor that night? I don't even remember. It's so bad. Anyway, we're working on it. One thing leads to another. They have the bike over, the Cove people, the engineers, the mechanic engineers over there that are working, doing something like replacing the cam or something. And we get the bike back at 1:30, and I tell everybody, well, we got an hour and a half to prep what we need to do before we're going to be done. So we were kind of the Chinese team, they're a little slow. They get a little distracted, and you really have to. They're great guys. The whole team really been super helpful. Nothing bad to say about them at all. But they do get a little distracted, and you'll go over. They'll be over here, and yeah, okay. And but anyway, the bike comes back. We have an hour and a half to do our stuff. It's 3 a.m. when we're done. Mm-hmm. And Felipe goes to test ride it at 3 a.m, of course. Oh. And he goes, I don't know, a quarter mile away, and it dies. Oh. And he has to push it back to the bivouac. Mm-hmm. It's now 4 o'clock. Mason's just getting up now and getting ready. His dad's giving him his breakfast and all that stuff. And now we're frantically out here under the tent working on the bike. And we have to wake people up because we need the what's it called? The technical. We need that thing that plugs in, right, to check what's going on with the ECU. We're literally working on the bike at 6:15 in the morning. Mason leaves at 6:30. And the cool part of the story is Mason's dad did not, I don't think Mason even knew that the bike was having a problem. He basically kept him in the camper. He kept him motivated, getting ready to go. And at like 6:20, the problem was resolved. It turned out to be a coil wire. It was fixed. And Mason came out of the camper and got on the bike and went to the start line.
With no idea that it was that is you know what, that is a good job. I mean, that is a really good. I mean, I know you guys were hair on fire scrambling. I can only imagine how Felipe felt riding away and then all of a sudden the bike flatlines.
And he's got to push it back. So now he's running through the bivouac, pushing this bike, Yeah. It's quite a thing. And really the real takeaway is that never give up, right?
No.
That's kind of the theme of the
song,
team here.
Instagram reels, it ain't over until I say it is.
Yeah.
I'm saying that.
That's how
Did you catch that from Mason?
Yeah, it's not over until it's in the reels from Mason saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't know if he can hear me, but I don't know how big his fan base has just grown from this event. Watching him struggle and pushing forward and making it happen and getting to where he got. So if not the first, I'm sure there's going to be many saying congratulations. That it is the effort that you put in is absolutely amazing to get this far on a bike that was not 100% proven before the rally. So that's an amazing job. So
yeah, I think he says thank you. He's signing an autograph.
Thank you, Victor.
Of course. And I mean, and that's to all of you guys. I can only imagine. You guys are a crew of 3, right? And that's, plus the riders.
Yeah,
so.
Well, it's more than that, but it's basically a lot of people.
Yeah.
We got Jesus here, the guy that got my... Jesus saved my bike. Jesus saved my Dakar.
Jesus is the Superbike team manager for Cove, and they have a very cool Superbike too, which I've got one on order right now. It's called the 450 RR. Okay. Super lightweight, 13,000 RPM. Pretty cool.
Oh man, are we going to see that bike in the Dakar?
I'm going to hand this over to Felipe, and you're going to have to get some info from him. He's now trying to walk away, but
why? We're just talking. Why do you got to tell him we're on a show? We're just talking on the phone.
Well, I don't know, but I have Larry here, and maybe he's got some insight. Some pit
Yeah.
He's got his mouth full of food now, he says.
He said, "You can't come in. We're eating ice cream." Days of Thunder reference there for those.
We wish.
How's the weather like over there? It doesn't seem like it's as cold as it's been.
No, it's been cool in the evening, but, cold, but not like last year from what I understand. And I don't know, right now it's probably 80 degrees. Not perfect.
Okay. So you're definitely getting a good swing in temperature.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's good.
So I got Larry now.
All right.
What do you got for Larry?
I don't know. All right, Larry. How's it going? How are you feeling?
Good.
I mean, you've had to put some work
We're
in.
good. I got rest this morning. We didn't have to get up early.
Yeah, we'll slip in.
Kind of. Yeah.
You know,
What do you think about what's this chrono stage thing? What do you think about it? Is it coming back, or, I mean, from your side?
yeah, probably. I mean, lost a couple bikes out there for sure because of it. You know, when you don't go through everything like we do every night, even other teams lost the bikes.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
it's definitely a race that you prepare the best you can, and it really shows,
Yeah.
if you make it through,
Yeah.
it makes a big difference, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's a test of the machine and how much it'll last, how long it will last.
yeah. Yeah.
But
I feel like, I mean, obviously, and then for you guys, like the development of the bike and going through, I mean, really, I think how much, I mean, I don't want to get into detail because I know you guys did a ton of work before you even hit the ground, even before the bike crossed the border. You guys did a ton of work on this bike. You know, I follow Mason, I'm subscribed, so we won't give away the secret sauce that we saw on there, but it seems like it's been a little bit of a last minute the whole way through.
yeah, for sure. I mean, Mason wasn't even going to race, and Mason was able to talk to Cove and secure a deal with them to do it his way, and they helped him. So we're grateful that they did that for us, and got him here, because it was looking like we were going to miss it,
Yeah.
and then Mason hit up a bunch of sponsors and got last minute help from quite a few people. So that was super awesome. Effective Soft and to everywhere, a lot of people helped and got him the money to make it. So, and it was all very last minute.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine the undertaking. Like, okay, we're going to make this happen. What was, I mean, from your side of it, the pits and organizing all of that and being on the ground and kind of orchestrating everything. How has that been?
No, it's been good. Just picked up tools and lubricants and everything we could, and we drive the motor home. We got Dustco that carries our big parts, tires and tanks and whatnot, and had a few motors in there.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had help moving stuff, so that's good.
Yeah.
They set up the canopy in the pit like normal,
Yeah.
just a few extra things that we bring,
Mm-hmm.
nuts, bolts, a lot of caffeine for the night, and go to it.
Yeah. Right.
Looks like a factory team without the factory support.
That is I mean, I think you guys obviously, kept Mason going and made everything happen. I mean, with the three of you guys, I don't know, like, it almost seems like all these big factory teams now, it's, more show than, they have the assistant director of rear air changes. It seems like, if you guys are able to make it happen without having, on a skeleton crew.
Yeah, no, for sure. More than anything, I think Mason kept us going, because his willingness to keep going.
Yeah.
He could have been the first day, just said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he's like, what can we do? Are we going to get it fixed? And so
Yeah, maybe
between
wants
us,
to keep riding right now.
you know,
a way to stay in it.
yeah, you know, between us and his willingness to keep going, it just motivated us to keep working.
Yeah. It was just some energy.
You know?
Yeah. Seeing,
Yeah, for sure.
you know, that first shot of him that we saw, you know, out in the sand dunes, just locked up, you know, trying to make it happen with the oil line incident. You know, it was heartbreaking, you know, to see, especially with the shot out of the gate that he got. I mean, the bike showed the speed and the pace, and he was riding and everything. You know, it was very heartbreaking. But
Yeah.
it switched the story, and it showed something that I think that, I mean, he was elbows deep in that bike, and more than one time. And I think it showed the world that, you know, no, this is like, he's not just out here, you know, he's not an athlete. He's not a God, I don't want to use the term factory rider, because I feel like a lot of times a lot of factory riders are like itching to break out the cell phone. It's not working. Come fix it. You know, they want to call tech support instead of, you know, roll the sleeves
No, for
up.
sure. I got 100% what you're trying to say there, and be nice without saying it.
Yeah.
Mason's not the guy that's willing to give up no matter whose team he's on.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to push to the end for sure.
Yeah.
And, you know, the first day when that line blew out,
Yeah.
he had the bike fixed pretty quick because he's smart enough to know he can bypass the cooler.
Mm-hmm.
And after he did that, he had wire that was in his tank bag.
Mm-hmm.
He wire tied the line. You know, it's unfortunate we didn't have any hose clamps in there.
Yeah.
Afterwards, we did. And he wire tied it, got everything ready and prepped. And he asked every person that came by him to ask if he was all right, if they had oil.
Yeah.
No one had oil. As soon as Sunir came in,
Mm-hmm.
literally was like, you could have my oil, like, you can have it. And from there, Mason took half the oil
Mm-hmm.
and was trying to explain to him that, hey, we can both go and we can make the finish. And I don't think he understood that,
Yeah.
that he would have been okay with that. And so he kind of threw his race away for Mason, which was super, you know, that's
Yeah.
pretty unheard of. And he did it.
Yeah.
And he did that without, you know, he didn't have to, for sure. And when Mason found out that he didn't continue on, that he got picked up, Mason was pretty bummed that he, you know, ruined his race.
Yeah.
So,
That's
but from there, you know, I did hear about people commenting how, you know, Mason called in and had him bring parts out, and clearly they didn't see the photos of the wire tie and how he ran the oil line to keep it from leaking again to get to the finish. But
I gotta. So I'm trying to figure this. So you're telling me that they thought that you could just call up Uber and they're just gonna fly parts out to you?
yeah, they're like, oh, the rest of the Cove Riders. The rest of the Cove Riders had enough time, you know, behind Mason that they probably didn't leave, and they gave him parts.
No.
One thing they don't understand is the delay, the liaison to the start. Like, yeah, there's no time.
No, it doesn't.
You know, it doesn't work like that.
That is furthest from the.
So that's unfortunately why we basically stopped posting anything, because Mason doesn't need to be distracted with these guys that are just hating on everything.
Yeah.
It just was easier because he reads this.
Yeah.
And so let's just make it so that they've got nothing to talk about. Unfortunately, it affects everybody else that enjoys seeing what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's a decision that I made and just had to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bummer, but I think the rest of the week, everybody will get a lot more as far as seeing what's going on in the bivouac and rest day.
Mm-hmm.
And then next week, you know, I know Mason's not going to want to leave. So he'll probably be trying to do some cool Facebook stuff. He can use my account and try to do some live videos and whatnot and give people a little more of what's going on.
Yeah.
From the pit.
That would be awesome. And that's crazy. I didn't know that Sunir actually sacrificed, was picked up. That was the part I didn't follow along with. And that's absolutely, that's unheard of. It's one thing to here, let me give you my rear tire. I'll deal with a screwed up tire. You'll get the fresh tire. That's one thing.
Right.
It's a whole nother to say I'm literally giving you my race. And that's absolutely huge. I can only imagine how gutted, Mason felt afterwards. But it's crazy to see the support, then what happened after the line, then we see the owner, straight up say it was on our side of the bench that this happened, that we could have done better on, straight up own up to it without question. Just hey, this is what it I'll be a little bit of a, I am absolutely loving how well of a job these guys are doing. Both you guys, mainly you guys, and Cove at proving so many people wrong about this, the whole where the bike came from. And that
for sure.
So,
literally Mason came in.
Yeah.
Just before we got on the phone and said, no, I know I can win on this bike. We just need to, refine it out, little details. And he's like, the bike's good.
Yeah. And
he's telling us that. He's not on social media saying that. He's telling us this.
Yeah.
So, he believes in, and Mason knows that the difference between good and bad. And he knows that, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah.
And he feels everything's very close, which is kind of cool. And just seeing, the first day before the line blew out.
Yeah,
he can ride the bike. He can navigate, and I think that's pretty awesome that he's sticking by what he said. And even though we've had some issues, he knows that's not the main, it's not just a total loss.
Yeah. So, my question is are we going to see that? Is this bike, this bike itself, is this coming back to the U.S.?
He was working on it. He wants to bring it back. He wants to be able to show it and kind of have something as a memory of the car on the first bike that went out.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good thing for Cove also, just because there's so many off-road shows and stuff that he could take it to and let people look at his race bike that was never raced before. And he, took it for a ride.
Yeah. Yeah.
Showed that it could be a winning bike. It happens. Hero lost a bike today.
Mm-hmm.
Honda lost a bike the other day. And it's just something that goes along with this race. It's a tough race and it beats down machinery.
Yeah. Yeah. It's literally, it's par for the course, it's bound to happen. And I think that's what I was we were talking or telling Mike a minute ago. It's these are all growing pain type things that only people that ride these bikes like Mason, at 110% are going to experience these things, because Sunir is not that Sunir is not a fast rider. He is injured, as Mike kind of mentioned, but
right.
What you guys have done for this platform and what Mason's done in developing it and making this bike his, I love seeing that. That was really awesome. Seeing all of the stuff behind the scenes, working with AHM, W, the wheels, and you guys, there was, I can only imagine all the stuff. We'll talk about that maybe offline some other day, but all of these little details and things that went off, to put this race bike together basically at the last minute. And and it made the stages.
Real quickly it came together.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing, is it made the stages. I was thinking, or not that, I think a lot of people were thinking that this thing was going to blow up 3 miles off the line. And then everybody was going to rejoice and we were right and we told you. And honestly, you proved them wrong. It got taken out of what I am assuming is by whatever. The Honda may have literally had the same problem, and
KTM, they lost an engine.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it, but they did.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny how quiet they get when parts start breaking.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Victor,
Yes.
one of the best moments of the event for me was the night that we went to the pick your starting position meeting or whatever.
Yeah.
And watch Mason get up there and talk about it before he gets up there that he's going to pick number 1. I'm like, okay. And boy, that place, you could hear a pin drop when he said, I want to lead out, or I want to lead. And it was really interesting that I think everybody thought that he was making a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And all the top riders would never do something like that. And then to go out on a brand new bike and never get caught all day long and put in a time of 3rd place, that's pretty amazing. Amazing for me.
Oh yeah. No, I 100% agree with that. It was awesome to see him, say that, like, not because it's kind of difficult to understand how they were doing it. Like, oh, it's inverted starting order. And then, you pick your spot and all that stuff. And for him to just say, I just want to go first. I'll just lead out. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's cojones for sure. And like you said, none of the factory guys, they avoid that top spot like the plague, but he's proven that he can open a stage and he's very tough to catch, so, and what was it? Was it last year that he had the entire pro field behind him following him for a bit?
Yeah. They told him stop following us, and
then
one
they
of the
follow
main
him.
reasons Mason didn't go out front because he didn't want to look like he was pushy.
Uh-huh.
And then at refuel, they told him, why are you just following? Why don't you try to do some of the work? So then he's like, okay. And he took off. And then, it was nice because when they came in, Matthias told the team manager, Jordy, he said, Mason took us and lead it out and really handled it. And gave him some really good words of praise. Like they were happy.
Yeah.
They were super surprised that he could do it.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool on his part to tell the team manager that. It was nice. It's nice when someone gives you a good compliment like that, and being one of the top guys that Matthias was nice to hear about that.
Yeah. I mean, I know for Mason, it's got to be, it's got to feel pretty good. And that, exactly what you said, for somebody to go out and literally say that, a paid athlete, this is their job, this is their career, this is what they do. I mean, literally the check comes from them. And for them to say that is, it's awesome. And honestly, I think some teams made some mistakes, but I think that this also worked out for Mason. Again, going back to what we were talking earlier, he showed a whole nother side of being a rider and not just an athlete, but being able to develop a bike, being able to navigate, and being able to ride. I mean, it's literally the trifecta.
Yeah.
And being able to work on a bike.
Yeah. That's
mechanical.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally what you need, because what you can't call tech support. It's not allowed.
Yeah.
So awesome. So so you guys are probably going to hang out to the end of the event, or are you guys coming back?
Yeah, no, Mason will want to hang out and probably video and talk to people, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Hang out with people that are his friends and, support everyone.
Yeah.
And then some way I think we want to try to figure out how to get back over to Dubai and meet up with one of the other guys that has helped him out and sponsor him a lot, Akakis, and talk with them. And, basically it's time to start figuring out next year already.
Yeah.
instead of waiting last minute, we need to get them training and, go from there.
Yeah. It's an interesting thing with what you guys have done. This race, I mean, for me and a lot of people, and I think that this is where a lot of the manufacturers understand this already. I know KTM does, is the story of Dakar and what happens at Dakar is what sells bikes on the Monday following the event. And I mean, even for me, I mean, I'm like, I think I can move some puzzle pieces and make it happen to pick up a bike. But it's a lot of it has to do with what I've seen, coming from you guys, the results on us. And that's the cool thing is it's like, it's no BS, you guys, of course you guys modified a bike, and made it better for Mason and made it better for his style. I mean, that's just, anybody does that. I mean, if you change levers, you've already, done that. Yep. So,
well, one thing to keep in mind, Victor, is that, the Gen 1 bike is really a proven platform as well for your average, even above average. But, that bike has now got 2 Dakars behind it. I don't think one of those bikes have dropped out yet, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean,
I think all the Kobe Gen 1s are still in.
Yeah.
And so there's the bike that,
yeah. I mean, let's be realistic. You can't buy. I mean, I'm sure they swear up and down, but you can't go buy the orange flavor bike with a race motor in it, and you can't tell me that the race motor that's in a Dakar bike,
yes, of course,
is in the bike you're buying off the showroom. So at the end of the day, I mean, it was the same thing like when I worked at BMW. People would come in and they would be like, I put a power commander on it, I changed the air filter, I had it dyno tuned and all this stuff, and I'm looking and going, dude, you still have like 50 millimeters of chicken strips on your tires. So what do you need all this horsepower for? You can't even ride the bike to its current potential. I don't want to make it seem like I'm talking crap about, the riders out there. That's not what I'm doing, because I know myself and my riding abilities. But I don't need a race motor to go out, have fun, go chase some road books down, or just even go tool around the desert. So I think that's...
Even for me, the bike would last me, a lifetime.
Yeah.
Right? I don't ride as hard as Mason. I don't ride as hard as Carter. So my stuff lasts longer.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Yeah.
And you figure when you come and you put that many kilometers in one day.
Yeah.
One day and
hard kilometers.
Push it through dunes and sand that, the stress these bikes go under each day.
Mm-hmm.
is more than most riders put it on in a year.
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
Yeah,
Do you have any questions for Felipe? Because he should really, at least so we know he's here.
I'm gonna, you know what, Mike? I'm gonna call you on that one. I bet you're looking at him, giving him a hard time, trying to get him to. I can see you teasing him.
So now we got Felipe from South County Interiors, which is one of Mason's sponsors also, and his mechanic.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Victor?
Hey, Felipe, how are you, sir?
Good. I can't complain.
Happy to get a little bit longer shut-eye?
Yeah, it's tough going 3 days with 2 hours of sleep. So we finally got a caught a break this morning on coming up to this bivouac.
Nice. So how about more or less when did you say, okay, I'm going to the Dakar? I mean, obviously you weren't expecting that in January last year.
No. Well, I told Mason when he first started rally, I'll support him as much as I can.
Yeah.
And if he ever gets the car and needs me, I'll go. So I think I was pulling a trailer, some equipment or something like that. He calls me and says, hey, I need your passport. We're going to Dakar. And I was like, I don't know, a month and a half ago. He's like, send me a picture of your passport. I'm like literally driving on the 241. And I go, oh shit, he just got really serious. So I had to eat my words.
Yeah, he literally just cashed it in.
Yeah, he's all right. We're going to the car.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Hey, it wasn't even a hey Felipe. Remember when you said?
No, it was, hey, I need a copy of your passport. We're going to the car. I go, okay. Yeah, that was the conversation we had. Start packing.
Oh man, that is that's awesome. But I mean, what do you think? If given the opportunity, you're going back every year, or?
Yeah. I mean, as long as I have a purpose. I mean,
yeah.
I like to have something to do. Yeah. I can track it from home, but if I'm working on wrenching, I'm all for it. You know, yeah. I'd like to suffer just a little bit. I don't want to be here and be a fan. I actually want to get my hands dirty and actually be able to do something.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I mean, it's like actually moving. I mean, I can only imagine, right? When the bike leaves, I mean, tell me about when you were riding away and the bike flatlined on you. I mean, what went through your head?
Oh, fuck. You probably have to delete that.
Yeah.
So it was early. I don't even remember what time. I want to say between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m.
Yeah, at least.
And we just got the bike back together after the techs worked on it. We put all our stuff back together, and it was like, okay, it's late. We got to ride this thing. And I took it out to the street, you know, pretty far from outside the gates of the bivouac. That's kind of like the ritual, is just get out and see if you can stretch his legs a little bit, see if you can find any problems. And it literally broke down and just left me dark. And I had to literally push it from the main road into the bivouac doors all the way back to our camp.
Through the sand.
I thought I was going to have a heart attack because I know Mason was getting up already. And we literally had to wake up all the techs and say, hey, there's a problem with this. We wake up, Mason's up already.
And actually, Larry solved that problem that morning as well. He said, put a new coil in it. And they were like, no, I don't think it's a coil. Just put a new coil in it, he said. I just want a new coil. And when they pulled the coil out, they found a wire pulled out of the coil, which was part of the demonstration that was in a video out somewhere of him replacing that wire, resoldering it, of the owner of Kobe doing it himself. Did you get that?
Sorry, I did see that. I mean, and that's not an easy find. Like, and had you not said,
I thought we were done. I mean, we had 15 minutes to go. I thought, I was amazed to see Larry, you know, keeping Mason out of the loop and focused on doing what he has to do in 15 minutes. And I was amazed. An amazing morning. And
I feel like that was every single morning. It was an amazing morning.
Like that, yeah.
It's almost like the bike was on fire and we're telling Mason everything's fine. Just keep on going about your business and get ready.
Yeah, you might notice it's a little warm, but just go ride the hell out of it.
It was definitely an experience. I mean, we went to that bike every single day, and we've touched every single part and basically replaced every single part on that whole bike at least once.
Yeah. But I mean, that's
a lot of it just out of caution, not because it was broken, just because
we want to find problems before they exist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and for the people that don't believe that part of it, right? That you're constantly checking and moving and replacing parts and doing all that stuff. The next time you're at Dakar or one of the big rallies, just walk behind the other team trailers, the factory teams, and just check out the parts in the trash can, and you'll know what I mean.
I'm done. Yeah. You tires, tires, brake pads. I mean, this stuff. I have a hard clutch plates.
Yeah.
I have a hard time throwing them in the garbage, but
Yeah, and these guys are like, well, the usable life of this is only 500 kilometers, so basically one stage. So we're going to throw these parts away, and they're like literally brand new, sprockets and all sorts of stuff. I've seen some crazy stuff pulled out of bins from the factory team stuff. So anybody listening thinking that, factory teams don't do that. I go, oh man, if they only knew. So,
there's so much invested, and you don't want to throw away a race for a consumable part. It's better to go through everything and make sure that you check all your boxes and make sure that everything's torqued and tightened and all the parts that you need to replace are replaced every day.
Yeah.
Safety wire, everything's safety wired. Not everybody does that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, you need to have, I mean, like you guys said, everything has to be accounted for. Everything. Every last bolt, every last thing, because you don't know when it's going to come down to.
You know, when we had that first problem with Mason with an oil issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I was just dreading, you know, did I not tighten the plug, torque it properly? Did I not safety wire it? Did I not? I mean, it was almost a relief to find out that the hose blew, as bad as, you know, just having that problem at all. It just, I was really, you know, you don't want to be the person responsible for not finishing the stage. I mean, it does happen. I mean, I don't think anybody would come down on me too hard, but at the same time, I'd probably be harder on myself for that. But
yeah, I mean,
I don't think we had one failure that was mechanic tightening type of issue. They were all sort of just the learning curve of getting everything with Cove set up to do Dakar in the future. And, you know, the owner wants to be on the podium in 5 years. This is his second year. I think it's possible.
To me,
but you need Lady Luck too. Remember,
yeah.
Lady Luck has to be on your side.
Yeah, and
one day.
You know what's something that I think that's interesting about that specific statement, right? And I had mentioned earlier is he did. He said 5 years, so this is year 2 for the podium. And I think a lot of people, when he said that, kind of laughed it off. I have a feeling that there's going to be some changed minds, because this is year 2 and you just had Mason prove that this bike has pace, right?
Let me be clear, Victor. What he said was he wants to be on the podium in 3 years and he wants to win in 5. So depending on whether you count stages or not, you know, Mason's put him on the podium with a 3rd place stage. So, you know, you know,
yeah,
you guys, the audience can argue that out, you know, whether that counts or not. But so far, he's got a podium.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think that the bikes that are currently occupying the podium are years and years. I mean, at this point, decades in development. And the company is barely a decade old as a whole. And this is literally year 2 at the Dakar. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see the next quarter, the next 3 months, how much gets developed and pushed, and ultimately, you know, it could be as soon as next year, you know, the right rider, you know, the right bike developed, everything just adjusted right, the team, you know, the team vibe. I mean, I can't even begin to speak highly enough of what Sunir did, you know, to help Mason. So I mean, I think that the whole program as a whole is definitely moving. So Larry, are you going to do a factory team in the U.S.?
Yeah, I definitely think it wouldn't be easy.
No,
because I can't afford it. But I could help Mason as much as I can, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, I would love to see Cove say for this next year, like really, really back Mason. I'm not saying they're not backing him now, but we know, you know, as a whole package, you know, I think they got a lot of miles out of him for this event, but not just in media and impressions, but more so in developing a bike that's competitive against all the other brands.
Yeah, for sure. You know, Mason's dream would be to be able to build a bike, help build a bike, and be part of the, you know, the R&D of getting something together that would win, and then win with him on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would, you know, I don't know if most people want to do that, but Mason would want it.
Yeah.
And he does want it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I feel like this is that opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. And after he got the news that KTM wasn't going to finance him again for this year, he kind of, just went into, okay, we're just going to mess around and ride bikes regular. He didn't really train road books much. He had a few people come out, and he took them out and helped them. He helped Noah train a little bit and came out. So Noah's doing real well this race. I'm glad to see this.
Yeah.
I think he's running third,
Yeah.
So hopefully he can stay there and be on the podium also.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
And,
Agreed.
and if somebody, comes up with financial support like these big teams get, I'm sure Mason could come back really strong.
Yeah.
Put the training in.
Yeah. I agree. 100% agree. I think, and it's awesome to hear that, that's his dream, to help develop a bike. And I think, I feel like he got a taste of this, of doing that dream with this. So, I mean, hopefully that's even more motivation. And nice, because not to talk crap, but I feel like I don't know how receptive the other teams are, the other factories are to rider input, for when it comes time to building a bike, that's not ergonomics, right?
Yeah, no, the farthest Mason got with, hey, we need to do this, is changing suspension.
Yeah.
And they'll work with you on the suspension, and WP did a great job. But I'll tell you what,
It's pulling teeth.
AHM, and then having the suspension on the bike this time they really came through for him at AHM and put something together super quick.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when you have that help, it's just enormous for your confidence and getting out there and riding hard.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, in that, it's arguable to a lot of people, I think, that maybe don't understand that the suspension is directly, like, you could have the fastest motor and the worst suspension and you won't post a time. You could have the slowest motor and be able to hold it wide open with the right suspension, and that will get you further.
Exactly. No, that's 100% true.
Yeah. So that is awesome. I mean, like I said, this whole thing and what you guys have put together and done, has really got me thinking, okay, so sell some stock and get, call up Cove, start getting a bike lined up.
Sure. They're heading in the right direction,
Yeah. So we'll see.
We need to sell 100,000 Coves or so that they can put that money into their race efforts.
There we go. Yeah. Let's do it.
Something some of the people probably don't know is Felipe has been part of Mason's rally training and everything since day one. The first time he's ever done a training rally, and that was one of Scott Bright's road books that he was helping do free trainings.
Yeah.
Felipe's been there since day one of this. So it's, he's been a big supporter of Mason's, before that, but as far as rally goes.
Yeah. Like literally day one.
Yeah.
When, just to remind people, when was that? Because I saw you posted a video of it. I think it was it looked like the background was Prim, and he was on a bike. I think it was for that training, but when was that?
It was he was like 18? What year was that? That's been several years. Felipe, you remember the actual dates? I don't remember the actual date, but it's been several years. I think he was about 18.
Well, yeah. How old is he now, though?
18. Because he's 22.
22. So
22.
So 4 years ago. Let's just for those playing the home game. That's 4 years ago that he was just learning how to navigate road books and just getting started in this. 4 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So,
That's awesome, actually.
you know, and
More than crazy. That's
Scott
awesome.
Bright, yeah, he offered up, hey, if you want to learn, and he was already like, I want to do this, and he offered up, you know, free training and come out and check it out. And Mason's like, can we go? I said, yeah, let's go. And then Felipe jumped in the truck and we went. You know, it was awesome.
Nice.
And so, yeah, he's been a part of this whole deal for a long time.
Nice. Awesome. Oh, man. There's so much good stuff, dude. I'm excited for this.
Mason's dream team, I think, right now is still, you know, his brother Felipe, and have them here and helping out and keep it going, you know.
Yeah. It's getting
So unfortunately Carter has a race literally the day that we come home for a national.
Mm-hmm.
And he had some other stuff to get his bike ready. So it's like Carter's got a full-time job figuring out all his race stuff by himself because I'm not there. And, you know, the good thing, Carter's just as good at working on a bike as Mason.
Yeah.
So he's out there building his own bike for this next race too.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, I can't put a value on the ability to be able to do that. You know a bike, build a bike, and do that kind of stuff. Because otherwise, out in the desert, when it's clicking a little funny, when it's reacting a little weird, if you don't know how everything works in conjunction with each other, you'll never find it. And more than likely, you won't be able to explain it to somebody that could find it. You know? Exactly. So I think that's awesome. And the fact that you could be literally, well, actually, no, I know. It's usually stuff breaks when it officially knows you're in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So, awesome.
Yeah.
That's
so we're still having a good time. Everybody's
good.
Happy. You know, Mason came in and good spirits, and let's figure it out. Let's look at it.
Yeah.
If you could make them let me race again, I'll race. You know, I don't need any overall. I just want to ride. You know, but that's Mason
Nice.
For you. I just want to ride. Can I just ride? Can I ride home?
Yeah.
How can we do this?
If we put it on a liner ship, can we just ride it around all the way back? Yeah. Yeah. That is.
After stage one, he came in and he said, "I'm not done riding yet."
Hey, factory teams, did you hear that?
Yeah.
Watch out.
One thing about that, he did last year at the end of the car,
mm-hmm.
when we were leaving, because we stuck around, and after he got hurt and his neck was to the point and I can't even lift it anymore.
Yeah.
Every team, Honda, they all wanted him, mm-hmm. but Mason, you know, a man of his word, and when he tells somebody and signs a contract, he's not going to try and get out of a contract to go with another team. And unfortunately, when the cut came, all the teams had filled.
Yeah.
And they gave him, hey, we wanted you, and you said you were already under contract.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? I think that I've seen it in so many different industries that people will contract hop. They'll jump from, Monday they're on one bike and Tuesday they're on another platform. And it's like, they're just searching. So to me, as a team manager, if I was a team manager or brand manager, I'm looking at that going, dude, you're just after the paycheck. You're just after whatever the next quote unquote next best thing is. And I don't want that, dude. I want somebody, that's where I think that Mason just proved a lot of people, I think a lot of team managers should be watching this. And I bet they are, that what he was able to accomplish. I know that, there's a lot of press and a lot of coverage about his struggle for this rally and your guys as a team. But I think that has shown to everybody that had a question mark, it's dispelled a lot of it. He's not just a rider. He's not just a navigator. He technically wants to be involved with the bike. He technically can make a bike work better. So I think, as any team manager right now, I'd be looking really hard at this
Yeah, no, to get a rider in is their input on something that could actually potentially improve it is always good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, even if they don't, if they'll listen to them,
Yeah.
you know, they're getting feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you need from your riders is feedback.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And so we'll see. We'll see. I hope that this partnership gets formed with Cove. Something stronger, something a little bit more, and allows Mason that opportunity to help continue to develop the bike. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, for sure. The CEO and Jesus and Jan, and they gave us 2 mechanics to just, if we had any questions, literally for Mason, and they were basically there for the motor work. Because I don't feel comfortable doing Mason's or Carter's motors anymore, on top of I don't know this motor because all I've worked on is KTM motors.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, okay. So they literally brought the head, two mechanics that fully know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had a question about the motor, they came over and they would do the motor stuff.
Gotcha.
So that was solid.
Yeah.
They want to make this work too.
Yeah.
So we had good support from them. And again, when the CEO and owner of the company says he's sorry, this is my fault, that's a big man to step up and do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, I don't ever recall seeing anybody else ever do that.
Yeah.
Some happens, it gets closed behind the iron door, and good luck trying to officially find out what the story was. So
yep, exactly. And so that was solid. That to me is huge.
Yeah.
When you take responsibility, and I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You don't see that ever.
No, 100% agreed.
So,
nice. Well, it's what time is it for you guys? 5:40 for you guys there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So we've been on the phone for quite a while. You got up very early.
Yeah.
To make this all happen.
No, we gotta get. There's a lot of people. They're gonna want to hear this, so we could definitely get it up and out. And oh man, I'm telling you, this adult life thing.
It.
Yeah. No,
if you were here, Victor, I'd buy you some bivouac meal.
Nice. I want to try one of the MREs that they gave him out in the desert for the chrono stage.
Yeah, that was cool. We haven't talked to Mason about that. We haven't asked him if it was good or not.
Mason actually packed one of our dehydrated meals.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I know they'll have hot water. I'm going to eat good. And he packed it in his vest from a Serbies, made him pockets in the back too.
Yeah.
So he packed that in his vest, and he's like, I'll get hot water. I'll have 2 meals. I'll eat good.
I would have I would have used the popcorn theory. Nobody wants popcorn until they smell it.
Yeah.
That's what I would have. I would have brought the stuff with the strong, like the best smelling food ever.
Yeah.
And just to, tease everybody, but that is awesome. Details. It's all in the details.
Yep. For sure.
Awesome.
Thinking outside the box.
There you go. And look where we are. So excellent.
No, and that was the other thing. He was grateful because on the plane, he's like, I'm glad I had all my hammer bars. Because by the time he got picked up, he's like, I would have been dying.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So.
Yeah.
I attribute that to me because he wants to carry light, but he also wants to eat.
Yeah. Well, take him. Yeah, he understands the dynamic of it, and that's important. You could literally be running out of gas internally and not even realize it. It's like what they say. It's like when they say you're thirsty, it's because you're already on the dehydration process. So that's huge.
We learned that the first year at Dakar, that even though we were using the hammer nutrition, we needed to actually be using it more.
Yeah.
So the owner actually talked to us, and we basically gave him day-to-day everything we did. And within a week, he's like, this is what you should be doing daily to replenish your system.
Nice.
And that was huge. So the second year we went, instead of losing weight, Mason gained weight
Okay.
by just keeping everything in check.
Yeah.
So the willingness on their side too to like make it happen was awesome.
Yeah. Which is, if you think about it, the crazy part, I know a little, but not a lot. But from my understanding, 3,000, it's 1 pound of weight is 3,000 pounds or 3,000 calories. So I can only imagine how much he goes through, how many calories he goes through in an entire stage, and then back that up for 12 to 15 days.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. I think a national at one point, it was calculated 9,000 or 10,000 calories a race for a national, like Hare and Hounds. Like that seems like an enormous number, but man, that's
one day.
So physical and going, and that's one day.
Yeah.
And that's a few hours.
That's crazy.
So it's like you just burn.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that the pace and the terrain obviously is a little bit different, but the Dakar wins because it's, 10, 12, 14 days straight of this.
Yep. Exactly.
Oh man. Well, speaking of nutrition, what's the food? What are you guys doing for food tonight? Restaurant, or is it going to be the bivouac a la carte?
Tonight, I don't even know if they have food yet. They didn't have any prior, and I think we'll probably make some mutton noodles and some vegetables again, because that's what we ate last night. And
nice.
I think it was good enough to get us through, and that's what's packed in the motorhome.
Yeah.
Because Dusko actually brought us the motorhome filled with some canned food and whatnot, and then we went to the store and picked up some meat and vegetables, and so we'll probably do that again tonight until they get the bivouac set up, because everybody kind of got here early, and they told us it wouldn't be set up to go ahead and just take the 2 days and travel slow, but we made the journey in 1 day.
So you guys can do it slowly.
Exactly.
We're on a mission.
We got here, we set up, tools are set up, parts are set up, we wanted to 100% be ready for when Mason came in, and we're still set up. I'll send you a little quick video. I'll text it to you, try to make it quick so it'll text through and just show you the setup a little bit that we have. And
another interesting point from a service viewpoint, I don't think anybody realizes how many kilometers you have to go between bivouacs. I mean, it's like an all-day drive from one bivouac to the other. And coming back here from where we were back to Riyadh, or coming to Riyadh here, it was supposed to be a 2-day trip. We did it in one. I think it was like 10 hours or something, but
the other day we spent like 13 or 15 hours
I don't
driving.
know, just all day.
It was huge,
drive. So you don't get to really sleep. So somebody's got to drive, and usually the person driving, I think, is probably as tired as I am. So I can't sleep because I don't want, I'd rather see it coming, right? Like I'm going to jump up and grab the wheel or something, right? Yeah. But no, it's just, I think for the people listening, just the distances that these service crews have to go every day is pretty incredible. I never kind of thought of that when I came here, and we've done Baja and some other events, South America, where when you're riding the bike, you don't realize the service crew had to basically drive the same distance you did on your bike or whatever, and a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I saw that there was they're on the stage maps from the FIA, FIM, or from the ASO. I'll just say from the ASO. they show the service route and what you guys got to do. And a couple of times I mistook it for the stage, the special stage. I was like, dude, oh no, wait a minute. That's what these guys got to drive. I'm like, oh,
600K driving in a motorhome.
that does 55 at best.
Yeah.
So the point is, you never get to sleep. You know, there's never like once the rider leaves, you get to relax for 2 hours. We usually pack up the night before. As soon as Mason leaves, we stay with him on the starting line, and we're gone. As soon as he leaves, we're moving to the next point. So
Yeah. Nice. Well, awesome. I mean, that's hats off to you guys and everything you've done. I don't think I can say that enough, that you guys have done a really awesome job, you know, keeping the thing going. As far as they made it, you know, that's out of your guys' hands. So it'll be good to see. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Mason back and you guys back and see where this goes with Kobe and how the Kobe bike develops.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us
Thank you
on.
guys. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoy. Have a great evening. Say hi to Mason. I hope hope you guys have fun.
Yep. You have a good day.
Awesome. You too. Thank you.
thank you.
See ya.
Felipe.
All right. So there you have it. Woo. This turned into an episode for you guys that are normally just watching the 10-minute updates on the Chasing Waypoints podcast, or for the rally updates. This is our typical. We try and get all these guests and people on the show, on the podcast. So this video obviously went a little bit longer than you guys, to the point you guys noticed that I had to turn off the camera because it started giving me the red beep telling me I should probably charge it. So new camera setup, haven't really figured it out, but well, you know, we'll make it happen. See, let's see if we can get back. There we are. All right, back on. We'll see how long before it starts beeping. Anyway, now we'll cut it here, guys. I hope everybody enjoyed it. You know, a little bit longer of an episode, but I hope you guys are tuning in. It was really great to hear from Larry, Felipe, you know, and Mike. And then obviously Mason there in a little bit. Didn't want to bug Mason too much. He's, you know, fresh off the bike, fresh out of the desert, you know. Honestly, I could imagine, you know, maybe a little gutted, you know, not being able to continue. And it's worse too when you have the ability, like you see that the bike has pace, you know, it has the ability to do something. And not only that, but all of the work, all of the hours that everybody put into it. And then, you know, for something, you know, something technical that you later, once you figure it out, that's the worst part. Once you figure it out, you realize like, oh, if I would have done this, we would have been okay. You know, that makes it tough, but we'll see. So guys, I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you guys are enjoying the Dakar. I've got to go do some running around, do some errands and stuff like that, but I am going to be coordinating and working and trying to get you guys some more interviews and some more stuff today and post it up. Check out a little bit later today. We are going to have actually 2 editions of the NAR files today dropping. We've got one with Jacob Argybright and then another one with a very special guest, a former team principal, we should say, the crew chief, one of the main guys at one of the premier factory teams. So we're going to talk about his experience on the Dakar winning team from a few years back and how that went. So Gnarly Dave making that happen. Nar, if you're listening to this one, thank you very much. It airs a little bit later today. Hope everybody's good. Let's do this. Let's get on with it. Got the rest of this adult life. One of these days, maybe Spotify will cut me a check. All right, that is a wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Looking forward to our next one coming up. Remember, if you are out riding, do not forget to tag us at Chasing Waypoints. Hashtag Chasing Waypoints. And if you haven't already, get on over to the website. Get signed up for the newsletter, The Bivouac. North America's Rally Raid and Adventure Riding newsletter. Hey, let's have some fun. Let's find out what are you guys up to. Let's get you featured. If you're a brand and looking to get supported, get some eyeballs, get some ears on your business. absolutely hit us up. Send us a message at podcast@chasingwaypoints. But anyway, that is a wrap. Remember, shiny side up. See you guys.